'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Ma in her kerchief and I in my cap, well, we just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutter and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow. Snow? Wait just a doggone minute. There's no snow. What's up, Santa Claus?
We're in Texas. We're reading the wrong night before Christmas.
Texas, Night Before Christmas. Written and illustrated by the same person, and his name is James Rice. This was one of my favorite stories to read at Christmas time when I was a teacher. I hope you enjoy it. 'Twas the night before Christmas in the cold wintry fog. Nary a critter was a-movin', not a lone prairie dog. Then from out of the north the breeze gave a stir, and icy cold blast swirled the fog in a blur. A blue Texas norther roared over the plains. The cold fairly whistled through the loose window panes. I poked at the fireplace to stir up a flame. The embers glowed redder, but the cold stayed the same. Ma fixed up our dinner to be ready next day, and thought about Christmas a few hours away. Our scuffed boots were assembled on the floor pair by pair, where Santa Claus would find 'em, for he soon would be there. Oh, the young'uns were bundled down snug in their covers, a sprout of a girl and her two older brothers. So me in my long johns, Ma in her gown, warmed up by the fire, 'fore we laid ourselves down. Woo, doggies! Then from out on the range there came such a ruckus, I ran to the winder to see what the fuss was. Through the blue winter blizzard a scene came to sight. I squinted to see, for her weren't much light. Whoop, there stomping and snorting and pawing the ground were 8 scroungy longhorns stampeding around in front of a wagon piled full as could be, with boxes and bundles as high as a tree. Then a bellerin' yell soon set them all straight from a fat little old ramrod who put fear in the 8. Well, there weren't really scared, no harm would he cause, for their longhorn head honcho was old Santy Claus. He got their attention and called them by name. Hey, Leadfoot and Walleye, get up there, Culhane. Come on, Gimp, Flop-Ear, and Scarface, start dragging. Get on, Sam and High Hops. Let's move this here wagon. Old Leadfoot, he bellered and lifted his head. Then straight on they trampled through Ma's flower bed. They laid the gate flat and the clothesline went too. Nothing stood in their way as they flat-footed through. Santy pulled them up short on top of the roof. After wrecking the porch with them clodhopper hoofs, they rocked that sod shanty, the dirt sifted down. And then through the chimney, Santy Claus came with a bound. Oh, he was dressed all in rawhide with a Stetson on top. His big Texas boots hit the floor with a clop. He shook his great belly and stomped with each foot, which knocked off a shower of mud, ash, and soot. His eyes were both squinty, and his skin was like leather from too much exposure to the raw Texas weather. He looked tough as a horseshoe, but I felt no alarm, 'cause a wind of his eyes showed he'd do us no harm. A feed bag of toys he flung from his back. With nary a word, he opened that sack. Oh, he filled all those boots and piled them high, then looked out the window and up at the sky. Ooh, doggies, the cold Texas northers still whistled and blew. But more young'uns was waitin', his work weren't through. It was hard to just leave and walk through the door, to face all them longhorns in the cold as before. He drank some hot mud and hunched close to the heat, to soak up the warmth and thaw his old cold feet. He could no longer dally or put off the chore, so he gave us a wink and pushed through the door. He prodded those longhorns to get on the go, and the wagon took off through the fog and the snow. Oh, he called over the norther 'fore he went out of sight. Merry Christmas, yeehaw, and y'all have a good night.
It's Christmas 2022, and everybody's living in Texas now. We love y'all. Merry Christmas, and don't forget the reason for the season. The best present of all, it's Jesus' birthday. Merry Christmas.